All right, I'm Greg Chase, and my agency is in West Des Moines, and I have been an agent in West Des Moines for just over 20 years. Before I was an agent, I was in the Air National Guard, and I shouldn't say before because actually during is the better way to say that. I had just returned from 2 years of active duty training, and when I got back to Des Moines, I had another year of active duties to make it 3 years of active duty, and then I transitioned to what we call guard status. You have obligation to the service, drill weekends, and then you would go on and have a civilian professional job. So I started in that last year that I was here exploring what I was going to do, and I was pretty certain I wanted to get into insurance, and that came from a little bit of influence from my dad and some people I knew in growing up with in his world. And so I visited with district manager with Farmers at the time, and pretty quickly got the ball rolling, and that's how I got started. I completed just over 20 years with the Guard and retired just about 2.5, 3 years ago. My career choice with Farmers has worked out exceptionally well for this reason. Being in the Guard, and my position in the Guard was a pilot, and so I was fortunate enough to fly F-16s, and as a combat-ready pilot in the F-16, we had continual training requirements to meet. And so where a lot of people are familiar with somebody that might be in the Guard that does 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. We hear that kind of in a commercial. My position was double that requirement. So ideally, I would fly a mission, a training mission, 8 times a month. We didn't always get there. 6 would be common, but we would strive for 8. That would be basically twice a week. Every flying mission took between 6 and 8 hours. So there's not a lot of jobs that would nicely accommodate that. This has. And so I would have a lot of times where I would get up in the morning, I would go to the base, brief a mission, fly it, which would usually mean dropping bombs in either Wisconsin or Kansas on a gunnery range, firing the cannon, returning, debriefing the mission, and then go to work. I mean, I absolutely loved it, but a real unique schedule, and one of the great things about being an agent is I could do it all. One of the things that occurred over these years was I did deploy to the Middle East, over to Kuwait actually, and this would be after the first war. And so I have staff in the office to absolutely take care of everything that needed to be. I actually went and was deployed for about a month and a half, which would be considered a lot less than many deployments. When I got back to my office, my staff was so good. I had one message on my desk. I'll never forget that. After being gone, I fit right back in and continued doing everything we do at work. One message on the desk. It was phenomenal. The trips are great. You know, when you win them, and I think a lot of what I think the trips do is emphasize the camaraderie that agents have. You do a lot of work independent of each other, and when you win a trip and you come together, you feel the camaraderie. That is an element that I thoroughly appreciated out of my military career, was camaraderie. When you went to work and we did very neat things together, and the business is a little different, at times can feel a little isolating, but when you win a trip and you get together with the others and go, it's a great time. When I was looking at this as a prospect, I literally remember doing this. I actually grabbed the yellow pages. It's kind of funny because we don't really do that anymore, but at that time I got the yellow pages and I opened it up to insurance. And I was a bit overwhelmed how many pages I could turn on insurance agents. So I was concerned that, how can I fit in? Look at all these guys. And, but I didn't let that weigh on too much, so I went for it. And I found out that it didn't matter that they were all there. And today, I know we don't use the yellow pages, but if you want to Google insurance, and you'll see a lot of people in the business, but there is room for another agent that wants to work hard, because you can fit in and just take off. And I learned that, and so that didn't turn out to be an issue at all.